Yeah, good evening, everyone. Welcome to yet another session of hearing from our artists. So, first, we'll be starting with Pooja. Pooja is practicing hand building ceramic artist, crafting work in form of objects and vessels for homes and space. She describes her work to be an extension of her being and always evolving. She strives to constantly better her craft, whether it is the vessels she coils or the sculpture she builds. So over to you, Pooja.
Thank you so much, Khatija. Um, so just to follow what Khatija said, I am a hand building artist. I'm yet to give myself a title. I believe I work with clay and I work with different techniques in different forms. I'm yet not ready to give myself a title. So I just like calling myself a clay artist. My primary practice of my primary practice with clay is hand building, and over the years, foiling has become my second skin. Um, and I'm constantly working towards building better work and concentrating on the craft of clay. So, just to start, this is what I practiced before I got introduced to clay, and I still do practice in my own small ways. I used to be in interior design and custom furniture, which I still do practice. Now my work is mainly focused on yakisugi furniture, which is the technique of preserving wood by charring. This is a very small practice within my clay practice that I have. The man in the center picture is my father at a wood shop. He has been my inspiration into craft and building with hand. So that's a little overview of my 14 years in the industry that is now home. It's the interiors and architecture and furniture craftsmanship. I got introduced to clay in 2020 during the lockdown when most of us had lost paths. I was lost in my path. I yearned to make with my hand, and um, I moved to Goa to seek. I didn't know what I was seeking, and clay happened to me. I was introduced to clay by Nimi Joshi, where I spent a month with her hand building, and she took me through the techniques of hand building. The works that you see here are the explorations from my time with her in her workshop in Goa. She has been an incredible mentor and a help in setting up my practice and the studio practice, and she continues to be um, a big part of what I do today. Um, I'm going to show you some of my initial works, not describing too much what I did, but most of what you will see in my initial practice is inspiration that I took from what I saw and lived in Goa, and that is all that I wanted to depict in my work. I fell in love with the forest and the wilderness and the crawling creatures which captivated me the minute I saw them. I have immense love for snakes now. And thanks to clay and my exploration of snakes in clay, I made some friends who took me in and showed me the world of these creatures. And I try to depict that in some of my work. These are the mirrors that I created. It was more about reflecting yourself in what you see. So these were a couple of mirrors that I did. I don't practice these forms, and sculptural work anymore. It's traveled to a different space now, but I really love that I took this direction, um, entering into the practice of clay. These are some more snakes that I sculpted. I sculpt what I see and not everything under the sun. So these are creatures which are endemic to the Western Ghats. Most of them are Malabar pit vipers and bronze bags, and everything I see in the forest is what I like coming back and sitting at my table and sculpt. So these are some of the pieces that I've worked on. Again, another work with snakes. I also like the idea of cabinet of curiosities. And as an aesthete, I I enjoy seeing my work in the home spaces, and that's what I wanted to do with snakes. So these are some more snakes. This is the making of the pit viper jars. Another subject I worked with was chain mails, and I really love the complexity of clay, the fragile behavior of clay when working, and the strength of it once fired, and nothing depicts that more than chain links, I feel. These are some of my works with chain links. And I tried working with the forms that you see on metal armor. So these are European 4-in-1 chain mails. This piece you see here is 6 feet long. Um, and I made this in terracotta. So it has beautiful movement. These are some spiral chain mails in a gradient of terracotta to stoneware. Next are these stable objects that I was exploring this idea of feet much before I got introduced to pottery and clay. I wanted to create objects that spoke of ourselves and our thought process. Feet, one being the epitome of art, and we've seen them in most movements in the history. I wanted to do my version of feet, and these are little miniature table objects. They talk about your your inner self, and reclaiming your spaces from society and within. So I request people who buy these objects to put them in the spaces that they have reclaimed for themselves or from society. These are very close to my heart. These are slip casted. I have made them in different clay and explore them with some techniques of basically aesthetics, I would say. These are in terracotta here. My current explorations are the ones in monochrome. I also tried the basalt black feet, which I don't work with anymore. I am currently not working on exploring new feet. I'm looking for inspiration, and I'm hoping I find something that helps me continue my work with these objects. And I, I feel like there's a lot that little objects speak around the house, and these are one of them. Next up is my current obsession that I've been practicing since 2022 is when I found this first picture that we see here. This was the first time I explored forming banana blossoms. I've been enchanted by them. Um, ever since I saw them the first time. Living and growing up in a city, we we're not introduced to nature as as is. So moving to Goa helped me connect with nature and observe. City does did not allow me to do that. These are banana blossoms that I created the first time. Then these are over the years that need different iterations, and I'm constantly observing and trying to detail them more from what I did previously. These are some of the final pictures of the pieces that I've built. These are only a few of them. I've been building a lot of these pieces, and I really enjoy making them. Um, these are some more floral work I have created last year. Most florals that you will see here, floral work is with stems. I feel like a flower is nothing without its stem, and I know how fragile and difficult it is to build work with stem, but I that's where the fun is for me. I I could break a lot more pieces till I find something that survives. And these are some lotus buds that I've created with long stems, some proteas and rajnigandhas that I have that come with a bowl. These are in in Mumbai we call it rajnigandha by the bowl, like vata, which is a bowl. So I like translating my work from what I see in the markets. I love walking the markets, and everything I display, I vision, I observe, and I create what I see in the markets, and I want to show them like that in my work. And I insist the people who collect them and buy them showcase them as um, as my vision of creating was. Um, this is uh, this is one of the most important part of my journey as a clay artist. In 2022, I was looking for what next in my path of creating. That's when I stumbled upon Lee Kang Hyo's short film on YouTube. And the minute I watched that, I was mesmerized by the work he created. I credit all my inspiration, enthusiasm, everything that I do with coiling to what I saw in that documentary and in Lee Kang Hyo's work. He's a huge inspiration into building my work with coiling. These are some of the works that I have built. These are the making processes of I I enjoy the delicate base, which is floaty, and the challenge of creating bulbous vases with that. Moon jars being my absolute favorite. These are some of my works of moon jars and subos that I've created. Some more work with moon jars. This is my very first edition after watching Lee Kang Hyo's short film that I created. These vessels, before that, I'd never coiled a vessel. I didn't know what coiling was. Although I did practice a little, I never paid attention to it. I stuck to pinching before this, and once I knew coiling, I forgot everything I created before that. I and Since 2002 to now, every day I sit and coil work, whether I'm lost in finding my path of what next, or I am just inspirationless. I sit and coil. For hours sometimes. This is some more work with vessels and raku firing. Um, Sultana, a potter from Mumbai, Sultana Khan, she introduced me to raku firing and was very kind enough to let me assist her in the firings. Um, Through her opened an avenue of reduction firing, and I absolutely love working with fire. And these are some of my works that I've created along with her, um, under her guidance, I would say. And these are all my Raku fire pieces that I've created. Next up is wood firing, which is my current obsession and something that I wish to pursue for a long, long time. I was introduced to wood firing at Golden Bridge Pottery when I attended a workshop for upma firing. And since then, I've just not stopped thinking about wood firing. Every time I create a range of work, there is a part of it that is kept for wood firing. And I wait till the workshops open so that I can take my work and fire, whether it is upma firing or chinagama or any other wood firing. So far, I've only been able to fire um twice, and I have also assisted Anjali Ane, who wood fires in Alibag. Um, and I wish to keep assisting people and understanding wood firing. Although I don't think I have a lot of knowledge, but I do know that this is the path that I want to explore for a long time. And this is some of my work from the wood firings at Golden Bridge. Um, the wood firing that I attended last year at Golden Bridge was the Chinagama firing, which was led by John Dix and Arti Manik. And that is when I got introduced to the art of Kurinuki. And I now love creating cups in this technique. So this is some of my work from Kurinuki, and these were fired at Golden Bridge. Some of the moon jars that I've fired there as well. Next up is my recent workshop that I attended with John Dix in Sasayama, Japan. Um, and we also had a fellow potter from India who was assisting John there. Kaveri, she's here. This experience has been life-changing in terms of understanding the standards of work to create as a craftsman more than an artist. The responsibility of a craftsman is something I take very seriously. Um, we experienced great amount of learning and exchange while we were here. Um, and this is some of the work that I created in Sasayama, which was fired there. These were some bowls that I've pinched. Tea bowls are my new love, and Japanese take them so seriously. These are two of the tea bowls that I really loved, the way they look and the output of firing that I got. These are some of the small works, and next up are some of the big works that I built there with the Shigaraki clay, which is something I was looking forward to working with, especially the chunky feldspar Shigaraki. And all the works that you see here are the Shigaraki clay. Um, and yeah, that's all. That's all that I have for the presentation.
Oh, lovely.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you,
Thank
Pooja.
you so much.
Your works are lovely.
Thank
I
you.
request if anyone has any question, because next is Manpreet and he is going to have a different format. So if anyone has any question, you can shoot right away to Pooja. Otherwise, we'll connect after Manpreeth's presentation.
Hello.
Hello, Sandhya.
Pooja, I wanted to, lovely work, such a beautiful work, and
Thank you.
a huge source of inspiration for artists who focus on hand building like me. So,
Oh, thank you.
not throwing. So,
Thank you.
the question I wanted to ask you more about the feet sculptures that you had. And you mentioned something about reclaiming your spaces. So, can you just elaborate a little more on it? And I've also wanted to ask you, but they were hollow, right? Technically?
Yes.
Yes. Okay.
They're all slip casted.
Yeah.
Before I found pottery, I was seeking something. I didn't know what I was seeking. One thing I was seeking is to express myself within, and I didn't know the translation of that in words. The translation of that was in terms of my thoughts that then I wanted to create into products. Feet were the only pieces that actually got translated into a product. Everything else I trashed. Once I found clay, I stopped seeking within, outside, in my craft, with my hands, anything. Um, so feet were basically a turmoil of judgments and society. Um, Judgments within. I'm mostly talking from yourself more than outside. So feet were more like reclaiming your space in terms of I always saw that feet were one seen in two very polar opposites directions. One as the ones of God, and the another were the ones where you can't you can't walk barefoot or look down upon, right? For the lack of better words, there's something which we see as dirty, looked down upon. Um, so these were some things that really caught my eye, and I realized that um, this is something that I wanted to explore. So the feet became the objects of reclaiming um, your space, and mostly from within, then from the society, is because there are times where we have looked down upon ourselves, which we today may or may not be may have reclaimed from our intellectual spaces. So feet became those objects for me.
Okay.
I hope I explained it right.
Yeah. Yeah. Very,
Thank you.
very interesting, and
Thank you.
yeah, communicates a lot.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Okay. So, any more questions? If not, we'll move to Manpreet. Pooja, can you just stop sharing?
Yeah.
And kindly mute yourself. Yeah. Okay. So here we have Manpreet. Shall we, Manpreet? Okay.
Yes.
So 17 years ago, a short summer camp in Delhi fired up the interest of Manpreet Singh Nishter in clay. The impact was such that he traveled from Hyderabad to Delhi for 10 years to work with clay. Nishtar fulfilled his passion and vision to become a full-time ceramic artist. He quit a lucrative corporate life and set up a 1,000 square feet studio in Hyderabad. His 32 years of animal and environmental activism helped design a zero waste sustainable studio, a high point of which was he used industrial waste and achieve water efficiency. He conducted thousands of workshops and exhibits his work internationally as well. He has presented sustainable ceramic practices in India and internationally. Over to you, Manpreet.
Thank you. Can you see the screen, my slide?
Yeah.
Okay. So I can start.
Yes, please.
Okay, Satyakal, everybody. Thank you so much for coming over, and thank you, Falguni and Shitija, for organizing this. So today I'm going to talk on how I run my studio sustainably and zero waste. I would request everybody not to mute yourself unless you are in a crowded place. I am going to ask questions, and I'll be happy that if you guys can answer that. Okay, what? Okay, so this is a closed terrarium in my studio. It's been 3 years old and it's closed. So nothing can get in, nothing can come out. It sustains itself. It has its own rain. The plant grows here, the leaf dries, they fall inside, that become nutrition and the plant grows back. Now imagine I introduce miniature humans in it. They not only generate trash, but also overconsume resources like us. Do you think this can sustain anymore? I would like to hear answers, please.
No, absolutely
No,
not.
it won't.
No. Can I remove trash from this? It's closed.
Then you can't.
And then can I add resources to this?
No.
No.
Our planet is exactly like this. Can we send our trash to Jupiter?
No.
Or get resources
No.
from some other planet?
No.
The planet
No.
has everything for all of us to use it. The problem arises when we start abusing. There are over 4 million life forms on this planet, but we are the only one who generates trash. This is my spray booth and clay trap. My spray booth is 100% upcycled. In its previous life, it was a container for a chemical container in a printing industry. All the waste from here goes down in the bucket down, what you can see. The glaze settles down, water flows onto the top. Glaze, like all of us, I use it like a mystery glaze, but the water on the top, earlier I used to use it for watering plants, but when I realized mosquitoes don't lay egg in it, so I thought when it's not supporting biolife, I shouldn't be watering it to the plant. So this water goes only to the pottery. The banding wheel inside is also upcycled. I found a scrap in a scrap store. I found a disc, and I bought a used ball bearing and welded them together. But I have a nicer banding wheel for my work, which I need a swifter one for. But for my spray booth, I don't need very swift working, so I can manage with this. Water that touches our skin surface is utilized. Rest everything goes waste. So I have water saving nozzle. This saves 97% of the water. This is easily available on Amazon. You can search as water saving nozzle, and they are universal, so they can fit to any tap. And the 3% water that comes out, that goes into the bowl inside the sink. Clay settles down, water flows down into the first can. Again, clay settles down and flows into the second can. The water in second can is sparkling clean, and I use it for watering my plants. The water from the first can, sometimes it gets a little murkier, so I use it for my lotus bowls or for my pottery. The clay which settles down is very fine. So when I make paper clay sculptures, it can have paper fibers which gives holes. So this clay at the bottom, the slip, I use it for coating my paper clay sculptures, and it gives a beautiful finish. Can anybody guess what is this?
Collection of all plastic bags.
Packaging.
Okay. So I don't have a trash can. 70% of household trash is packaging. So what I do is this is a trash. I have a recycling bin. I don't have a trash can. So I take a smaller waste, put into bigger waste, use it as a cushion for while shipping my stuff outside Hyderabad. So all the waste that I generate, I consume it. But the waste that I can't consume is usually the packaging like this. So when I'm giving my bags, I give my bags in kapda called kura kapda. This is the color of the cotton. If I want to make it white, we have to bleach rivers and ocean. Do you know where our rivers and oceans start from? From our sink. Whatever you put in sink, it goes to our rivers and ocean. And they are not even printed. So we don't release mercury and cadmium into the atmosphere. So this is a large paper clay sculpture and it broke. If it breaks something like this, I usually fix it. Like for this, I'm going to make a sculptural leaf and bisfire it, put them together, glaze fire it together so they get stuck to it. But let's say if I can't do that, then I pound it, make it a grog and use it for making raku clay. But if it's a glazeware, then it's a nightmare to do that. So if it's a large pieces, I give it for free and people are happy to take it. But if it's a very small pieces, then I usually ground them up. But look, what did I say in Jindazen in China? Doesn't this flooring look beautiful? They stack plates to make an installation. They use Mangalore tiles for making curb, even garden sculptures. And in Tokoname in Japan, they use these bottles. These are large jars like a martaban. They made bottles with the waste and the broken terracotta pieces. They made pathway. Coming back to my studio, my kiln, though it has high carbon footprint of shipping from Canada to India, on a longer run, it has a lower carbon footprint because this consumes 30% less power. Anyways, my kiln, my car, the entire building runs on solar. So this is a zero emission studio. Normally, when I say this, people think that I have solar panels on my car and my kiln, but it's not like that. I have solar panels on the terrace, which generate the power during the day, but most of the power I use it in the night. So when I'm charging my car or when I'm using my kiln, I try doing it during the day. But whatever is extra, I give it to a community. I live in a gated community, and I take it back when I need it when there's no sunlight. So there's something called net metering that calculates how much I have given and how much I have taken. Also, advantage of this is I don't need a power backup because our community has a power backup. So if you see this, the thermocouple is exactly at the level of a shelf. Many times when I'm loading the kiln, this is the problem that I face. So what I've done is I had a waste shelf. I cut it on both the sides. The other side also, because when I'm bit firing, I flip it. So this is how I've used it. Can anybody guess how did I make this texture? Yes, any guesses? Those who are not answering have to stand up on the table.
Recycled clay?
Good try.
Recycled clay and some waste material mixed with it.
So waste material to kya?
Paper?
Paper.
Okay, good try, but no.
Garden soil?
What?
Garden soil?
Garden soil, no. So this is a kiln wash. So when I'm scraping my old shelf, when I'm scraping my shelf, the old kiln wash, I mix it in the slip and apply on my leather hard surface to give this textures. Can anybody guess what's the correlation between this jewelry and my kiln?
That's the kiln shell that you cut out, I think.
Yeah.
It's also the thermocouple. The thermocouple has those pieces that you've used.
Yeah, so the long beads that you use is actually thermocouple cover. So I had to change thermocouple. The newer thermocouple, it has a ceramic cover like a test tube, but the older one has these beads. So I didn't know what to do with that. So I used it in making beads for my ceramic jewelry that I made. This is a stilt made out of coil. So I was speaking to Laskar sir, and I was telling him that I have a lot of coils from my previous, elements that I've changed, and I don't know how to use them, how to consume them. So he said he gave this tip. I have not tried it, but I thought I'll share it with you guys. He says if the element breaks, don't replace the entire element. You take a piece of old element and just overimpose it, and it works beautifully. You don't have to replace it. Can anybody guess? Sorry.
So coils, a lot of people use coils for making the hooks for jewelry.
Yeah, but you know what? They are quite thick, and when you bend it, they break. So I could never make a hook out of that. Probably mine are too old to bend. Okay. That's why I could make the stills. Make a still. So if you see the hole at the bottom on the side, that's because when I'm inserting in, it's U shape, no? So it goes out. I could never straighten it. Yeah. So I was, sorry. So I was asking, can anybody guess how did I make these props? The top one, the one which is horizontal.
Oh.
Remember I was talking about my thermocouple that I had to replace? This is a thermocouple rod.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So the thermocouple rod, it has a U shape. The part of the U is very soft. You can easily cut it. And the other two parts, I use it like props for my jewelry. This is my pantry, and everything here is vegan, like rest of the studio. And all the water here is RO water. RO is a filtration system which generates a lot of waste. So all that wastewater goes to the pond inside the house. The water evaporates, keeps the house cool. Excess water goes to the plants outside. All the wood that you see here is a reclaim or repurpose wood. When I was young, I used to eat animals, and because I couldn't correlate, I used to love animals and also eat them. Same way, we all sign petitions not to cut trees, but we buy furniture. From where will we get furniture? So for studio, I didn't even cut a blade of grass. For house downstairs, I've used 4 sheets of plywood. So this is how I've used old doors also and old furniture. Can anybody guess how did I make this lampshade? I'm not talking about the frog, the shade. Okay, so when in olden days we used to pound chilies, there used to be guard to protect us from splashing. That I turned it upside down and put a light inside. This is my wash area for the pantry. I found an old table which I upcycled. It was shorter, so I put 4 stones underneath. And I never did dishes like most Indians, but in my studio, I have a rule that everybody washes their own cups. And once I finished using Scotch-Brite, when it went bad, I realized that I can't consume it. What to do with that? So I replaced with Zofa now. This is where I keep my glazes and glaze accessories. All the containers here are upcycled. I have not used single-use plastic in last 32 years. This is a centrally air cooler. This consumes power of 3 fans, and I get rid of 7 fans inside the space. So it's on the terrace. It generates cool air, and the black ducting that you see outside, it blows the cold air inside. These are upcycled wine bottles. It looks stunning when the sun is that side. The whole thing lights like a chandelier. I have not used clay bricks. The entire studio is built with, not only built the studio, but the entire building is built with industrial waste, which are called fly ash bricks. And I have not used sand. For sand, we destroy a river ecosystem.
Manpreet?
I think he's frozen.
Yeah. Let me check with him. Yeah, he's joining in. Just 2 minutes.
Hey, sorry guys about that. Can you
Yeah,
hear
no
me?
worries. Yes, we can.
Okay, now where should I start from?
You were on the same, the presentation is the same, right? Can you just
Yes.
go to the
Sure,
wall
I'll show
where
you. 1 second. Okay, did you see the water filtration system?
You were on the wine bottles.
Yeah, the
Industrial waste bricks.
Okay. So, okay. Okay.
can you share your presentation?
And do not use sand in a long time because it destroys the riverbeds. That's why you are.
Yes, sorry. Can you see the screen now?
No.
No? Oh.
Yeah, we can now.
Okay. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry about that. Okay, so I was saying that I did not use sand because for sand we destroy a river ecosystem. The river ecosystem are not just plants and fish, but also people who live on the river banks, the crops, the forest that grows along with the river bank, everything destroys. So instead of sand, I have used dust from the stone quarries. And when we want to plaster with cement, we need to cure it with water. So what we do is we take a hose pipe, drench the wall with water every day, twice a day for 28 days. To save this water, internally all walls and ceilings are plastered with gypsum, so no curing required. This is my slab roller. On a special request, I got the roller, and rest everything is built with scraps. This also makes sure that my wife has lesser access to rolling pins. The wearboards that you see down are again scraps that I've collected. My neighbor had leftover bricks from after construction, and I took these leftover cement boards and made these shelves. These shelves in the previous life were samples of a Venus. There are 7 washrooms in the space, but not a single exhaust fan. Like if you see this, this is open to the sky. I do not understand the concept of closing all doors and windows and put one small power-consuming exhaust fan. The water here is powered by solar. All the plants around the building are animal friendly. This creeper that you see covering the facade is called Thumbergia grandiflora, and it's full of nectar. It houses 3 species of bees. It has even tree frogs. I didn't know tree frogs are there in Hyderabad, and so many other birds, including reptiles like coyotes and chameleons. Before I leave, let me leave you with something called pre-cycle. Pre-cycle is a decision that we take before we buy a product. Is it necessary to buy? Can I buy a used one? If I'm buying, can I take it without a carry bag? Often I'm asked, isn't it not expensive to be sustainable? And my answer is, it's far more cheaper than buying another planet. Thank you.
Thank you, Manpreet. I have a query for you.
Yes.
How do you ship your stuff when it is outside Hyderabad? Because maximum breakage happens there.
Yes. So what I do is I use uh, okay. So what I do is I wrap it in a newspaper. I crumble newspapers, wrap it thoroughly, and then I put it in a carton box with X-rays lined up. And this cardboard box, unless if it's very heavy, if it's very heavy, then I line it with one more carton box with X-rays in it. And one more thing is, if they cling, they'll break. So if they are heavy things, I separately pack it. Otherwise, if they are like flowers, then I wrap it nicely and then put them together. Nothing happens to them.
Okay, that is very interesting. And which shipping guys you use? Because this seems very because I've tried DHL, Blue Dart, everyone, and they have broken everything.
So I always ship through Speed Post and nothing happened. But recent one, I sent 120 flowers to Bombay and not one single breakage I had. That I sent it through Blue Dart. And all the 120 of them, I had to pack in whatever the dabbas that I could get it. So there's a supermarket there close by, and I get dabbas for free. And my mother collects X-rays for me from everyone. My student gets me X-rays, newspapers, plastic bags, paper carry bags for students to take their stuff, and small plastic bags for students who take a couple of kgs of clay, all that laundry bags and everything. My students get it for me. So I use all that for shipping and using. So until now, I have never had breakages. Initially, I used to have, and they cling or the heavy pieces, put them in one big carton box. So then otherwise, no.
Okay, good to know. Anyone has any question?
Looks like nobody understood because
No, you explained it quite well, trust me.
Hi,
We're
Vinay.
all questioning our choices.
What do you do with shards?
Charge of what?
Fired stuff.
Okay, so if it's a bisqueware, then I pound it and make it a paper clay. Sorry, make it into grog clay. Earlier, I used to use it for firing also, but I stopped because I got something from Japan that I'm using now. There are aluminium rods that I'm using. So I make it a grog clay, and if it's very fine, I use it for my regular firing. But if it's a grog, then I use it for a co. But if it's a glazeware, big ones I give it for free. Small ones I break it down.
You break it down in what?
So hathoda leke, you just hammer it.
Yeah, but what do you do with it?
You mix it into clay and consume it.
Oh, then how fine do you make it?
So you know what? Even if they are like rava, broken rice, they still work.
Yeah, it does. And you see it?
No. I just mix it. See, my objective is if you see, you can't throw with the grog clay. So for hand building, I use it happily, no problems.
Wow.
Yeah, so recently Ruby Jhunjhunwala means she helped me with this. She pounds her bisqueware and she sieves it in different sieves. So it gives you the correct grog size as well. So you can use that and have use the same for your.
So you know what? I have a Artica chani which has several mesh. I think it has 4 mesh. So the finer ones is the finest that I use it and mix it like a regular clay and use it. The groggy one I try to use it like a for raku and all.
I've been sieving
Yeah,
it,
makes sense.
but without sieving, to brave up.
Yeah, because if you're handling it, you don't need to worry about it. So
Yeah.
Vinay is asking how much kilowatt I'm using. I have 7.3 kVA.
Hi, this is Vinay.
Hi, Vinay.
Hi. So you use 7 kilowatt
7
clay
point,
and
yeah.
7 point?
Yeah, I think 7.6 or 7.3, either of it, sorry.
Okay, and solar panel and community, I think your community have batteries, so that works?
No, my community doesn't have a battery. So this community has, eventually it should have 220 houses. Right now there are 40 families living in, 40 under construction. So we have a power backup because of that. So that's an advantage. So let's say if I'm firing or in I'm in a lift, I'll get stuck, no? So we have a power backup for that. This 7.6 kVA, 7.6 kVA. So I generate the power during the day, give it to my community, and whenever I need it, I take it back.
Right. Oh, so that is possible. That's really
You
good.
don't need batteries because there are others who will be using it, no?
Right.
So we don't have power connection like meters from the grid. We have one high tension line which comes to our community. Our community has a transformer and generators, and from there it goes to every house a sub-meter.
Okay. Thank you.
Lakshmi, you
You're
have
welcome.
a question?
It's not a question, more a comment. Thank you very much. I think all of us need to do, lots of little things, and every drop counts, etc. But the irony of our work, all of us who are involved in pottery, is that something that is fired stays there forever. Like plastic.
Right.
So sometimes I just wonder, okay, how do we know that it's not such a menace as plastic is, but if terracotta and ceramics hadn't been there, we wouldn't have understood about our previous civilizations, and we wouldn't have made any deductions about what happened in Harappa or whatever it is. So I always think about this. I also try and live as sustainably as possible, but then I sometimes pinch myself and say, hey, I'm in an unsustainable kind of art, this sort of thing. So this is just a thought. So I wanted your comment on that one.
Okay, thank you, Lakshmi, for asking that. Yes, at times I do feel that, but you know what? This was, I think, many years ago. I think my first or second trip to China. In a Chinese subway. I can't read Chinese, but there was a poster in subway, a huge poster, it was divided in two parts. One part, there was a tree without any leaves, and it had a paper cup in front. The other one had a tree with full of leaves and a ceramic cup. So what it tries to say is, if you keep reusing it, it's good. So like, for example, now Kullad, if people drink and throw it, then it's not good. So I don't drink tea outside because it's non-vegan. So I get those glasses, I make holes. You can just nail it and hammer it, and then you get holes. I grow plants in that. I have a lot of cacti and succulents. So when I propagate in that and give it as gifts to people. So they're more than happy. So if you keep reusing it, it's good. Otherwise, it's not sustainable. And as I said, Lakshmi, this planet has everything for all of us to use it. Problem arises when we abuse it.
Okay,
कुल्हड़ का जो एक्चुअली आइडिया आया था क्योंकि नॉर्मली पॉटर्स जो फायर करते इट्स लो फायर्ड एंड इवेंचुअली इट गोज बैक टू लाइक अर्थ सो बट अभी तो जैसे फेंकते हैं हम लोग सो देयर इज वी डोंट नो इट इज गोइंग बैक टू अर्थ और रिवर और anywhere, but cooler is like low fire, so that's why it's easily in few months it gets to back to clay.
No, but cooler once something is fired, it's not biodegradable. It doesn't go back to its original state.
No, when traditional potters like they do firing, it's 500 degrees or sometimes less or 600.
Okay.
तो वो बहुत ही सॉफ्ट रहता है.
अच्छा.
So that's why वो जो जब फेंकने का जो इंडिया में पहले जो सिस्टम है बिकॉज ऑफ लाइक टेराकोटा तो मिट्टी में मिल जाएगा उस हिसाब से लाइक बट नाउ वी आर throwing all the rubbish also.
So you know what? The best thing is to keep reusing it.
Yeah.
Nothing like that.
Yeah, Anushri, you have any question? Please go ahead.
Yeah, hello, sir. This is Anushri from the Line Story Pottery Studio. Am I audible to you?
Very faintly. Okay, Anushri, this is sir. This is Manpreeth. You can call me Manpreeth.
Okay. So Manpreeth, I have this one question. You were talking about the coils which you reuse in the kiln. Can you explain it to me once again? Because I had some network issue and I was not able to catch on the same
So,
thing.
okay. So, you know what, Anushri? So, Ulaskar sir, he gave me this tip, but I haven't used it, but I thought I'll share. What he said is, if an element breaks, you don't change the entire element. You take a piece of old element and just put it over it, insert over it, and it works wonderfully. You don't have to replace it.
Oh, that's wonderful.
So now
one
that,
more question.
Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. You
So I was saying, because it was said by Ulaskar sir, you can blindly follow whatever he says.
Okay. One more question, sir. I wanted to ask you regarding the grog, which you were saying. What we can do is we can just pound the misfired ceramic ware, and we can make it into grog and add it into the clay. Is there any particular or specific proportion in which we should add? Like if we are using clay and we want to add some grog.
So see, if I'm using it for raku especially, then I add about 15%. But if I'm using it for just for consuming, wo kitna bhi chal jayega. I mean, less than that. Should you want to see my grog that I have?
Yeah, I would love to see that.
Okay, one second. Okay. So I don't know how to show this. Wait. Okay. Okay, where is the camera, Baba?
All fancy.
I can see the date.
No, I'm using iPad. I don't know where is the camera for this. Okay.
Tilt iPad.
Yeah.
Okay, now I found where the camera is. Okay. So, sorry. So this is, if you see this.
Yes.
Okay, it looks very fine powder.
Yes.
Okay, so See, it looks like very fine powder. I can feel it's not like a talcum powder, but chura hai. Okay. This I use it, mix it, and make a regular clay के लिए. So I add a little mutti bhar अंदाजा 10% के हिसाब से, and then use it. Okay. But let's say if I have thicker ones, so the thicker ones. So these, can you see this? This is like dalia.
Yes.
Okay, this I use it for raku clay, and for terracotta, you can make out this. This is very fine.
Yeah.
Okay, this is brick ka chura. So neighborhood mein jab chal raha tha construction, so when they had this pile of bricks and they were removing it, whatever the bricks were there, uska powder I have collected like this.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir.
You're welcome, Anu.
And Manpreeth, so you need to, when you make this grog, you need to segregate them and keep like stoneware for stoneware, terracotta, and like different clay bodies, right?
So you know what? If I'm adding stoneware ka grog to terracotta, then it'll show a different color, no?
Okay, yeah.
So which I don't want to. And terracotta, unless wait, I'll show you an example why I did that. So I did an installation of 27 plates like this, and they were cracking, and to make sure that they are not cracking, I've added this powder. Otherwise, you really don't need to. And earlier, I used to use grog for making large sculptures, but I stopped after attending a paper clay workshop which Falguni had organized. So for large sculptures, I use paper clay. And for paper clay, my students get me newspapers. I use that for laying on my wearboards. And once they go bad, I give it for support for giving, when I'm making flowers to give support under the petals. Once they go bad, I use it, make a paper clay out of that. Okay, how much glazed grog do you use in clay? Okay, so Manisha is asking how much glazed grog I use. So the big pieces I give it for free. अगर कोई छोटा मोटा रह जाता है, जैसे small फूल का the petal breaks. So the small things that I can't use it somewhere, so I just break it down randomly and just mix it and use it.
Okay, cool. I think we are done. No one has any questions further, so we will call it a day. And requesting all the other members to. Okay, we have some question. Do you grind the pieces?
Yes, with a hammer. I just hammer it. So for bisqueware and all that, I make my students do. If they want to make large works, I say you make grog and then you use it in the clay. So they do it for me. How come so fine? No, you just grind it. So what I do is, ये जो clay के जो थैले आते हैं, we put it in that and then just hammer it. Whatever you sieve it. So as I mentioned, the Artica chutney, you get these. The one which I have has 4 grades. So that's how I segregate. So I don't know what meshes that, but I just take out the finer ones and the groggier ones.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
How do you make paper clay? What's the recipe? So I use 30% of the newspaper to make paper clay. 30% in my porcelain or 30% in stoneware.
Oh.
No, the ink doesn't seep in, the ink burns off. But Graham Hay was telling that a study which somebody has done a research where it shows the ink helps in binding it better, giving better strength. But even in porcelain, no, it doesn't show up anything. I know people use tissue papers and all that, but where will I get tissue papers? I don't use only. So if there are pre-wedding shoots which happens in my studio, they use tissue papers and I say, please take it back with you. So I have a policy in my studio, whatever you carry, please take it back. We don't want to keep even for a day, but we expect Mother Earth to have it forever. How about paper fiber? What do you mean by that, Chitty? That is what is binding the clay and making it harder, no? Cloth paper. No, I've never used cloth paper, but that lady did a workshop with that. But when we can use newspaper, why to use cloth paper? And it works, I mean, as good as paper clay. I know. Yeah, Joe's workshop. Now people must be wondering, what is this? Yeah, very good, but then I can't consume. No, I'm using newspapers and all that. Where will I get to use it? Wait, I'll do something. So after using, so these are all crumpled newspapers. Okay, so this is what I use it for, shaping my flower after I put it underneath. Wait. Yeah, so if you see this, the first paper here is what I use it. And then after that, when I'm giving supporting petals, then I use this newspaper. After this, then I make it the paper clay. Now, if I want to buy this cloth paper, then it's virgin, it's bleached. And when I can upcycle this, why should I use something virgin?
Okay. If anyone has any more questions, kindly connect with Manpreeth,
Yes.
Hyderabad. Provided you find him in India. Otherwise, he's across the world. Okay. Thank you all for being a part of this talk. And kindly, please put your name for the next month's member presentation. It is lovely to see your works. And
वरना अभी से हम लोग ये अलॉट करना शुरू कर देंगे and then you have to do it. Okay, so please put your names. Last